And joining me now is Notre Dame senior civil engineering major Grant Humphreys. Grant hails from the city of Soldotna, Alaska, where his dad, also a Notre Dame grad, is a doctor. He's among the first group of RAs in the newly opened Dunn Hall, and he's here to tell us a very unique story, his Notre Dame story. So please welcome to Notre Dame Day program, Grant. And Grant, glad to have you here in Indiana. It's not too often I get to run into someone from Alaska. So what brought you all the way across the country here to Notre Dame?
Oh, well, so besides the weather, as you said, my dad went here as well. So, my whole life you raised, watching the games, kind of, bleeding blue and gold.
Sure.
And really, I knew when I got on campus, that's where I wanted to go to college. So luckily, one thing led to another, and here I am.
You're the only kid here that lists the weather as a positive, right?
Probably, yeah.
I understand that before Notre Dame, you had an unfortunate accident. Could you let us know what happened?
Yeah, so senior year after high school, I was an invincible 18-year-old, and right after school got out, I had a bit of a spill off a porch. It was a 14-foot fall onto concrete, and I landed on my back and neck. So it's a long story, but I made it. So kind of what happened was I had to take a semester off, and I recovered, and I'm lucky to be able to walk and talk, and it was just a really kind of a life-changing experience.
Yeah, very fortunate.
So,
That's kind of where I want to lead you next. Accidents like these are sometimes described as life-changing events, as you just did.
Yeah.
How has your life changed since the accident, would you say?
Well, I'm not someone who likes to talk about fate or kind of, what's to happen next, but I like to believe that there's certainly something left for me to do that's going to require me to use my legs, and honestly, being at Notre Dame has really, I think, put me a step in that direction.
Now, I hear you have an interesting story about moving into campus. Could you tell us that story?
Yeah. So it's actually it's my dad's story, so I'm going to steal it from him. But so my dad was raised as a Methodist, right? And so being from Alaska, he didn't make it down to campus before he actually came. So he came down with my grandma, who also raised Methodist, and so they get here, and he's registering in the middle of campus, and as soon as he's good to go, they're like, all right, so you're assigned to Carroll. They're like, okay, Carroll Hall. They didn't really know what's what yet. So they take his bags and they start to head out, as they're pointed further and further away from the center of campus. So they're walking out past and past. My grandma's getting kind of nervous, and finally they get out there, and she looks at him and goes, Craig, they must have found out we were Protestant. But no, that certainly wasn't the case.
And I understand that you lived for several years in Fisher Hall, but
yes.
Now that Dunn has opened up, you've taken up residence there. How's that move been for you? Happy with it?
I first have to say, Fisher Hall was phenomenal, great community, awesome place to spend 3 years. I loved it, still do, but truly to be able to be in Dunn has been amazing. Thank you so much to the Dunns for what they've done. It's been a
beautiful building.
Oh, it's a beautiful building, and really it's been so neat to watch this community just start and grow and just be with such a great group of guys.
I'm glad you're enjoying your senior year, and I appreciate your time, Grant.
Hey, thank you so much.
Pleasure talking to you, and good meeting you. Yeah.